Hello there. I just want to showcase how I usually do my solo play, solo RPGs or role-playing games in Foundry Virtual Tabletop, which is kind of like the program that I use to play these kinds of games in campaigns and even solo as well. And I have a bunch of landing pages, scenes that I want to show you uh, for this. But first, I want to discuss what kind of modules I use, and the most important one by far is Mythic Game Master Emulator, which has a module in Foundry VTT. They exist something like that. It's this one, and there's like a bunch of rule books that has like the plot unfolding, scene unfolding, game unfolding, and mythic variations if you prefer those. But I like second edition better. They have like fate questions if you want to ask questions to the oracle. There's also like changing odds, for example, make it very likely or very unlikely depending on the situation of the context, the scenario. Scene alterations if you want your scenes to be challenged. You already know how game editor works. This is mostly just for people who already know how to solve roleplay. But there's also chaos factors that you can like adjust, and it's pretty much like automated just for you. And the system I use for like fantasy games, I actually use a lot of systems with Mythic, but for fantasy games, I use 13 Age, Sci-Fi, CPUs, though I also kind of use Starforge for Sci-Fi, but I use CPUs for Sci-Fi so role plays along with Mythic. 13 Age, I like 13 Age because it's a much more simpler system than D&D and Pathfinder because there's like no attrition. Well, there is attrition. There's like no resource management to be fair. There's like resource management. There's like resource management in powers, daily powers, per battle powers, and recharges. But those are like just abilities that you already can do. The thing that I'm talking about is like inventory management, like keeping like arrows, keeping supplies, rations, what have you. I don't care about those. I like to play like high fantasy, power fantasy shit, and there's like more narrative focus in 13 Age with backgrounds and skills, icon relationship. I like icon relationships in my solo role plays. They indicate what kind of they help me indicate the kind of like plots that I will go through, like the threads, and this goes hand in hand with Mythic Game Master. I believe that's what I believe. And there's also like the one unique thing. I'm playing like an isekai goblin girl that's been trapped in like his own like MMO game, kind of like Sword Art Online or Log Horizon. Mostly Log Horizon. I love Log Horizon. Anyways, enough about that. You can mix and match like Mythic GME to like whatever system that you prepare. Even D&D can be used, though you'll be doing most of the DM work for that one. Anyways, when it comes to like combat, I usually run combat theater of the mind if I wanted to. If I need something like minis, like a battle map of sorts, I use a module called Dungeon Draw, which is lets you like place battle mats for you, like you can like just draw like something like this, and oh whoops, that is not supposed to happen. Anyways, but you can like draw something like this, right? Like, oh, you need to draw like a dungeon of sorts if I want to draw a dungeon, or I can like draw like a like an open forest area. Like I need grass, for example, like this one, and I can just do the ooh, yeah, there you go. And this is where like I put my minis around, move stuff around because 13 H is doesn't have like measurements, grid measurements. I prefer that. It's mostly just nearby, close, far away. Good enough for me. And I can like just draw stuff with like draw tool from Foundry if I need like a house. There's my house, like a bunch of like squares. That's good enough for me for battle maps. If I need something more specific, I'll just download from Google. But most of the time, this is what I need. When it comes to like keeping like atmosphere in my campaigns, I go to like the CG room scene in Foundry that I created where I use like Theater of the Mind Manager to like change like the background art. I just like search up like background stuff on like Google I try to not use AI art as much as possible, but there's like this ones, and I can just like change them on the fly, and I can like add more tiles, like more taverns, forests, yeah, like that forest, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. And the most important one is the landing page, which is where all most of the stuff I need is here, especially like my Mythic Adventure Journal. I forgot to put it there. This one right here, which is kind of like how I'm like saving all of my logs, my chat logs, which is something that the Mythic GME module in Foundry allows you to do, which you can export it kind of like this one. There you go. It exports to like the same Foundry journal that you get like right there. There you go. It's pretty neat to have. And there's also like clocks. If I need like clocks, for example, I go here like the challenge tracker module. Pretty cool stuff. If I need like a chase scene or like a dungeon crawl where I need like a specific amount of like rooms, so I have like this, and every like tick of the clock is one dungeon room explored, something like that. It is like mostly for playing theater of the mind, and of course, we have the map in front of me, which is more stylized, which is very stylized because this is the thing that I usually like look on every time. And there's like map pins, like note pins that I put down, like a map note that helps me like put maps of like towns, villages, and keep notes of like what's in that continent, for example. Like this one, the Stiha, there's like an old district. Just like keep notes of like the old district. I just like ask Mythic GME for that, or use like Dungeon, for example, and Watabu. And they have like I have like a bunch of like map notes ready for this one as I play. But anyways, that's pretty much like how I use Foundry VTT. Also, especially since I'm a fucking weeb, I use like theater inserts to make it play like a visual novel, which lets me like play out like my characters in a way that they're like talking dialogue, because I'm playing this in a keyboard that like I'm just typing away like prompts and dialogue. Like if I want to talk as Jacko, I drew all of these characters. They're pretty neat. I like them. Jacko, I want to talk like as Jacko. I just like where are we going? Something like that. And I'm just gonna like hit enter, and it's just gonna go there. Just for flavor stuff. I just love extra stuff like extra stuff like this. Yeah, you don't have to do it. That's up to you. But I like doing it like this. All right. and and I just like drawing my own characters because it just keeps the creative mind going, and I just hyperfixate on things. So also like extra stuff, but like I have like the clocks over there at the top, which has like party supplies and like inspirations for like rerolling dices, because sometimes I get fucked by dices. And pretty much that's about it. I have like macros set up, but those are like irrelevant. And I hope that like helps out in like how you're gonna like play out like your solo role plays in like Foundry Virtual Tabletop. These are like modules I use for that. There's like carousel, combat tracker, challenge tracker, chat media. That is so nice, very important. Dungeon drawer if you need to draw on the fly, the one that I showed the whiteboard. Global progress log, which is the one that I showed on like the party supplies inspiration one. Health estimate, probably not important, but I like it. Monk's active tile triggers if you need like tile triggers to like, yeah, like that, to like click on like tiles from like the scene. Shared computer, you can already do that in Foundry. Mythic GME tools, and just additional stuff like pin cushion, simple pog, theater inserts, tabletop RPG music. If you don't play on YouTube or Spotify, if you're too lazy to open those up, and just extra stuff that you want to add. That's pretty much about it, really.